Good morning, and welcome to the Unity Center of Pittsburgh. My name is Bobbi Konefal-Shaer, and I'll be your service leader today. We're joined by Dan Getkin, our musician. He's new to us, and we're really looking forward to some of the amazing chords he's about to present to us. Our title of our talk today is Love is the Magnet Within You. Now, if that doesn't attract, I don't know what does. Meanwhile, let's just take a look at our vision and our mission. We envision a spiritually awakened world flowing with divine love. And we are an inclusive, loving, and growing community dedicated to teach, inspire, and practice positive spiritual living. And right away, let's have a song. Dan?
Good morning. Good morning. If you feel like standing, I'm standing. Like no one seems fair. I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna let my Christ light shine. 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 I'm gonna conquer my weakness right by the riverside, down by the riverside, way down by the riverside. I'm gonna conquer my weakness down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna let my Christ light shine. 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 I'm gonna open my heart to God. Down by the riverside, way down by the riverside, way down by the riverside. I'm gonna open my heart to God. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna let my Christ light shine. 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 I'm gonna let my Christ light shine.
Thank you, Dan. Let's quiet ourselves for a moment and realize that we're here to open ourselves up spiritually. And so what we like to do is align our thinking, our receptivity to that divine presence that's all around us, of course, because we live in this benevolent world, but it's also within. So as you take a deep breath, know that you are in the right place. This is your divine appointment. Feel the breath of spirit infuse your being. Know that you're here for a divine appointment, a purpose that's just for you. And somehow, miraculously, it will hit us all a little differently because of who we express in this life. And with a little bit of gratitude, let us say thank you, God, for our being, our essence, and Unity Center of Pittsburgh, as well as who we are. And so it is. Amen. And lighting the Christ candle, a ritual we perform every week. We call it the Christ candle because it's a reminder, it's a symbolic reminder, just an outward sign, that there is a light within each one of us. That Christ light. It's already there. It was planted in you. It doesn't have anything to do with who you are or how you were born or where, what those circumstances were. It's essentially who you are, and who, when you align with that Christness inside, you feel your divine self. You feel closer to why you are here. So just a reminder that there is a Christ presence within each one of us, that spiritual essence, who we are, that we seek to be. And when you light a candle at home, strive for the same kind of awareness. You know, what it takes to be an enlightened being in this world is just a lot of awareness. Easy to forget. So as we've lit our candle, let's now say our unity principles. So if you'll share with me, God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. Through prayer and meditation, we increase our conscious contact with God, bringing forth love, wisdom, health, prosperity, and everything good. Knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them. And now, Dan, if you would, in the garden.
I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me is falling, but he bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
Thank you, Dan. The daily word for today, October 15th, 2023, is generous. Generous. The abundance of the world flows through me. I am securely in the flow of prosperity when I receive graciously and gratefully and share my abundance gratefully. I am living my faith that I am a divine being, empowered with a limitless supply of divine ideas. The richness of an abundant universe flows through me. Knowing this, I don't hesitate to be generous, so others will know the abundance of the world as I know it. Through my giving, may they also know the blessings of the awesome power of God as they bless me daily. And from 1 Corinthians 2:12, now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit that is from God, so that we may understand the gifts bestowed upon us by God. So let's say our affirmation together 3 times. The abundance of the world flows through me. The abundance of the world flows through me. The abundance of the world flows through me. And let that sink in. Let that work through. As we're feeling this abundance, this blessing that comes to us, whether we ask for it or not, let us feel our own power to bless others. And in this case, I'm talking about children. There are children out there whom you see daily, some weekly, some whose presence you're aware of because they live down the street or they're related to you in some way. Some you love, some you don't even know. But we see them, we know that we were once like them. We were children too. We didn't know everything. We trusted those around us to get us by, to get us through. We strive to be like little children and know that our Father gets us through everything. But let's take a moment to bless those children that we know and that we don't know. May they have the adults in their lives who will nurture them, the education in their lives that will prepare them for what their worlds will need of them. May they be instructed in such a way to know that they are good, that they are powerful, that they are whole. And should we see a child in the next day or week, let us be open to doing what it is we're asked to do at that particular moment. Help us to be intrinsic, to be moved by spirit, whether it's a smile or a word of encouragement or just assistance tying a shoe. Or perhaps it's giving in an envelope that goes to a foreign place. Let us be open to assisting the next folks that come along as we bless the children. And so it is. Now I invite you to look a little bit closer to who you are, your own lives. And this is when we spend some moments acknowledging our own intentions, our own needs, and the needs of those around us. Is there a need for employment, health, prosperity? Is there a need for healing, education, companionship? Let us now acknowledge the needs and see them fulfilled by the divine ideas that we know are present in this world at all times. Let us remove the blockages that allow us to think that it's not so, that we're in the flow, for we are in the flow of divine life. And as you ponder these thoughts, if you would like a little yellow or white piece of paper to write these intentions are, our usher will hand you a piece of paper. These intentions will be prayed over for 30 days as they are sent to Silent Unity. We'll hand you a pencil, and you can return all of those things in the collection at the end of the service. So let it be known that we are removing the barriers within. We are seeing our friends and our family and ourselves in the flow of divine life, receiving everything it is that we need. For we are gifted, and we are chosen, and we are so lucky to be here and to know the truth of who we are. And with the next breath, and so it is. And now we'll have a song, I Send My Love. And Dan, we didn't get a chance to talk about this, so of course sing your song. And if you could, what follows your song is a meditation. And if you feel that you can, provide a few chords during the meditation, just quietly. Thank you. Good.
Send my love over the mountain. Send my love over the sea. Send my love into the heaven. It returns to me. I send my joy over the mountain. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heaven. And it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountain. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heaven. It returns to me.
Thank you. And I invite you to secure your place in your chair, maybe with your feet flat on the floor. Feel yourself secure with hands and legs uncrossed, knowing that you are supported in this space at this time. As you take a deep breath, maybe move up your backbone a little, stretch up, And on the exhale, sink down into that secure place that is you in the chair right now. And we will breathe in and breathe out a few times together. Watching that breath of life, moving in, holding us, enlivening us, spiriting us, if you will. For breath is the spirit, symbolically and truly. Now feel that breath moving through. For sure it goes through the lungs, yes, but it also nurtures every other part. Allow your shoulders to move up and then relax down. Feel the peaceful essence moving down through your arms and into your hands. Perhaps enlivening the fingers a little. Knowing that these are the hands in which you interact in this world. With the next breath, let the exhale move through your spine to your seat. Let there be a yawn if there is a yawn. Feel the peacefulness of the next breath moving through your legs and to your feet. For we are in the flow of the divine. And if we ever feel that we are not, all we need to do is quiet ourselves and take a few breaths. It's as close and as far as the next breath. We don't need to actually go to that riverside to be in the flow. It's a lovely gesture, and the flow certainly helps the thinking and the stream of consciousness. But any symbolism that your brain wants to, that your mind wants to latch onto, be it the next butterfly breath, sending you off into new realms. The next settling breath that allows you to sit firmly, deciding not to move for a little while because that's what's needed. For we are an essential part of this abundant universe. And we are in the flow of it as we allow ourselves to be. So as these intentional breaths allow ourselves to feel the flow, let us also remove any barriers. If we feel a crick or a tightness, acknowledge it. Know that it's there or tends to be there, but feel the flow anyway. For we seek to be in the flow of divine ideas, of our personal, healthy lives, of our own abundant needs and the abundance that backs them up. For we demonstrate our awareness of our place in the universe by knowing we are in the flow. Just like that river, we are in the flow. Just like that breath, we are in the flow. We are held like the leaf on the water in the flow. All our needs are met, for we are God's children, living this life of awareness in the flow of abundant life. So let us get ourselves quiet for a moment. And if you choose, name the things that you seek. Name whatever it is that may give it more reality. But know that you are in the flow, in the silence now. And with our next breath, let us know that love and joy and peace flow through us as well. We are given all the gifts of this great, generous universe. All our needs are met, and we are part of the flow, giving and receiving abundantly. For it feels so good to provide for someone else, just as it feels good to know that the universe has infinite gifts for us. As I look out at you today, I see that you are princes and princesses of the Most High. Wondrous inheritors of all of God's goodness. And we thought we were only truth seekers. So as we close our meditation today, I invite you to open your hands to receive the good of this amazing universe. Accept its goodness and accept your part in the divine flow of life, of love, of peace, of abundance. As you close your hands in front of your heart, seal in all that good. Seal it in and take it. It's yours. O divine child of God, precious one, beautiful one. Amen. I invite you to come back into this room. And Dan, I understand you have a featured song for us. It's called White Light. Fabulous.
It's a song that I wrote, and Shane encouraged me. Shane, we all know Shane. Shane, our friend. Yeah, Shane encouraged me to play this this morning. And it's just a song about light and darkness, and at various points of life, just feeling like the light is profound, and other times in my life feeling like the darkness is very profound. But in both seasons of life, knowing and trusting that the light shines in the darkness. Light cannot ever be overcome by darkness. I am invincible. I am the tallest oak. I track the darkness of the world, wind it up and let it go. When I was hopeless and bitter, bright eyes with a hand across fingers, I asked for a heart of truth, but then the lights went out. Where were you, my blinding righteous shield from the storm? I was alone, I was broken, then out of nowhere, white light, white light, white light, white light. I am the mark and the weak link, no heart, no spark, no anything. I confront the darkness of the world, it pulls down and I let go. When I was hopeless and bitter, bright eyes with a hand across fingers, I asked for a heart of truth, but then the lights went out. Where were you, my blinding righteous shield from the storm? I was alone, I was broken, then out of nowhere, white light, 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 white light. White light, white light, white light, oh, white light, white light, white light, white light.
Wow, let's claim it. That white light. Let's be standing in the light. Indeed. Thank you, Dan. I wanted to thank Dan and all of you for attending today. This Sunday service is created for you. Yeah, of course, right? Of course it is. We don't do this because of course it's fun. It actually is fun. I don't know about what you think goes on back here, but there's quite a bit of fun going on. But we create it for you, and we think about you, and we think about what your needs might be. And because we want you to be in the flow, are letting you know that there's an exchange here, you know? So when it comes time to donating at the end of the service, I invite you to donate generously. With that, I want you to be bedazzled, because she usually is. Love within is the magnet, or love is the magnet within you, as presented by our own Maryann Hackworth. We're so grateful. Thank you, Maryann.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's so awesome to see your shining faces today, and everyone at home. Welcome. I'm glad that you could join us online. It is a gift that we have this technology to reach out and be with people who cannot come in person. So I am grateful for that. Today I would like to talk to you about love. And yes, the title, Love is the Magnet Within You. I hope that today's message allows you to perhaps turn upside down a bit your previous conception, if you had one or have one, of what God is. So I'd like to open with a quote from Buckminster Fuller, who was a writer, a philosopher, an architect, a futurist. He was living from 1895 to 1983, nice long life Buckminster Fuller had, and he said this: God is a verb, not a noun. So I'd like you to contemplate that while we're speaking this morning, while we're giving this message, and think of God as a verb, not a noun. So I'd like to start with a little story about magnets. I have a fondness for magnets. When I was a little girl, my grandmother came from Germany to help my parents because my father was a baker, and we owned a bakery in Dormont. And they worked in the bakery all the time, my mother and father side by side. So I was 2 when she came, and I was 4 when she went back to Germany. And I was extremely attached to my grandmother. She did not speak English. I called her Oma, which is grandma, and she's just a lovely, lovely person. And some of the memories I have of her sitting at the sewing machine, because she was always working, always doing tasks like a good German woman would, and cooking and cleaning and ironing. But sitting at that sewing machine, she would let me play in the sewing box. And I think that's why I have this fondness for magnets. In the sewing box, there was this egg thing, first of all, that you would put into socks, and you would darn socks. There were thimbles that I could try on my fingers. There were buttons galore. But there was a magnet in the sewing box. Why would there be a magnet? Because there were straight pins. And when you dropped the straight pins, you could pick up the straight pins quite easily. Even toddlers could do it, because I would play with the magnet. And I would dump the box of straight pins, and then I would pick up the straight pins and then try to pull them off gingerly without poking myself. Perhaps that's why I have a memory of it, because I'm sure that I poked myself. And my grandmother, I just had such love for her because she let me explore the world that way. You know, she let me get away with stuff, I guess. And who would guess that years would follow, years later, as I'm exploring spirituality, as I find unity and new thought principles, that I would come to understand God within me as love, as a magnet. I wasn't taught that early in life, and so I'd like to share it with you in case you have never heard this concept of love. Love, according to Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founders of Unity, love is the great harmonizing and attracting principle that lies within us. And metaphysically, it is represented by our heart. Love lives within our heart. And as we extend love, the things that we extend love to are then attracted to us back. So there is this binding principle of love. In fact, it is a power of creation. Love is the power to attract and bind within us, to create from that love. Love is the power by which all of our bodily functions work harmoniously together. As Bobbi was leading us in our meditation, she was referencing our breath. Did you ever contemplate the fact that we are being breathed by something? Love is actually inhaling and exhaling, contracting our diaphragm. We don't have to place any conscious effort on that. It is the power of God's love that breathes us. Love is the power that attracts us to ideas, as she referenced earlier as well. These are divine ideas that already exist in our universe. And when we activate them through the power of our love, through the power of our thought, we are attracted to more of same. The reason this is such an important concept is because it brings forth into our awareness, where am I placing my love? Jesus had that teaching when he said, where your heart lies, there your treasure will be also. Where your treasure lies, there your heart will be also. There's a direct connection to what you have been loving, to what you have been creating. And sometimes that's hard for us to accept. But if we apply that spiritual law and that principle to love and to activating love on purpose, we create more of what we are placing our love upon. I did a little research and it found that we have about 48 thoughts per minute. There's different numbers that get thrown around, but 48 thoughts per minute. So let's just do a little math. Let's say we sleep 8 hours a day in a 24-hour cycle. That's being generous sometimes, but let's say we do. That gives us 16 hours to think. 16 hours a day to think at 48 thoughts per minute, doing a little quick math, 2,880 thoughts per hour, leads to 46,000 thoughts per day in a 16-hour day. Now I ask you, as I ask myself, where does my treasure lie? Where am I placing my love and my loving thoughts and my loving attention to? And what is being bound to me? What is being attracted back to me? What am I binding myself to? Jesus was saying early in his ministry, he said, do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust and dust consume and where thieves break in and steal. Store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, right? Where neither moth nor rust consumes and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart is also. What is he talking about storing up for treasures in heaven? He's always referencing our consciousness. He's referencing the shift that we can make in our thought processes so that we can connect with this divine mind, this love, this verb, this creative power of God, which is active, surrounding, and always with us, and store those up in our consciousness, expand them in our consciousness, as we will then expand them into our world. So I ask you in this moment just to contemplate for yourself, just for a minute, think of all of the relationships that you've had in your life so far. People who have perhaps made their transition already, like my dear Oma, but people that are maybe now in your life, friends, acquaintances, people that you share a laugh with, people that you hike with, people that you share your heartfelt moments with, your sorrows, people that have supported and uplifted you. Know that you have created those relationships. Sit for a moment in gratitude throughout your day and marvel at the creation that you have brought into this world. You are the magnet that has created that. This is so powerful for us because when we think about Where does my treasure lie? Where does my treasure lie? What is my focus? What gets my heart going? Where are my emotions engaged right now? Am I passionate about these wonderful people that I love? Am I passionate about the people that I can't stand? Do I talk about them more frequently than I talk about the people that I care about? Do I get caught in that web or that entrapment when we use love and miscreate with it? We can certainly miscreate with it when we place our attention upon things that we can't stand, things that we despise. Do we place just as much love on a solution than on a problem? How many hours per day would you say that we mull over and ruminate on a narrative which is a negative? Something that's going wrong, something that's not working, people that are not doing things right, the dangers, the upsets, the chaos, the confusion. We gravitate to it like a magnet, and it sticks to us. We must be strong and bold and place our attention, our consciousness on treasures that are higher, treasures that are more fulfilling. When we desire peace in our life, think about that. What does that represent to you? We have a song, it was an old song created, "What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of." There's plenty of love. Love is all there is. Love is a verb, not a noun. There is plenty to be had. Love is everywhere present. But what we must understand is that it is unconditional. It does not place any demands on us. We are free will individuals to affect love and to access and use it as we wish. There is love always around us. It is only when we become disengaged from love that we become despondent or filled with despair. Perhaps someone has told us some point in life that we're not worthy of something. We don't deserve it. Or perhaps we've been met with a failure in life. Perhaps something didn't work out. A relationship failed or it ended. Perhaps we've had tragedy and sadness. But that does not mean that love is not there for us to recreate, to change, to access a fresh idea. Charles Fillmore said this: "Love in divine mind is the idea of universal unity. In expression, love is the power that joins and binds in divine harmony the universe and everything in it. Love has not will or volition except as they are infused into it by the other spiritual faculties." Let me translate that. Love, pure love, unconditional love, God as a verb, love, has no discriminating power, nor does it have will or volition. Therefore, love needs our intelligent direction by our spiritual faculties. Love needs our wisdom. Love needs understanding. Love needs faith. Love exists for free creation. Do what you wish. Place your attention and your zeal and your enthusiasm on things that you desire, things that bring joy to your heart. And love will then infuse that desire and attract it to you, attract more of same to you. It could be done in creating a song, as Dan did. There was a desire in his heart to sing a song. And so he placed his attention on that song, on that desire to give voice to it, and then more came. Lyrics, chords, melodies. That's how we create. And for you, it may be something different. Love is waiting at your disposal. In and of itself, it's not going to demand that we do something in a certain stamped out way, you see? That would not be unconditional love. I know that this probably turns us on our upside down a bit, because we love to think of God as our personal love, as he walks with me, as he talks with me, tells me I am his own, right? That's an old hymn. But yet, if we personalize love, we do bring that into our person, you see? It is within us. We commune with it. Sit at a red light. Spend that minute, 48 thoughts per minute, communing with that love inside. Affirm, the abundance of the world flows through me. That was our affirmation. This is what the Filmers came upon, the power to harness love through affirmations. Denying false belief, denying error thinking, or evil, as some call it, denying the power to that, and turning our attention instead to an affirmative way of looking at life, right? The abundance of the world flows through me. The abundance of the world flows through me. And sit with that. Take those minutes of your day to create that. There's another spiritual teacher that we all know pretty well here at Unity. His name is Ernest Holmes. And Ernest Holmes defined this power to harness as expectancy. Expect it. Expect the outcome, because it is a magnet in you. So expect it to unfold as you use love to bring it to you. He said, our standard of expectancy depends entirely upon ourselves. Yep. What would fill the needs for one person might not do it for another. What one person might regard as normal possibly would stagger the imagination of another by its very bigness. I would be staggered by the enormity of writing a song. I'm not a songwriter. And so using my creative imagination in that fashion would stagger me. But I might be inspired to grow a plant, right? Or to cook a good meal, or to share my love with my grandkids. It's all personal. You personalize God. Isn't it wonderful to know that you are the personal creation of God, and this love is coming through you to create as you wish, and God places no demands on you? If God did, can you imagine if God was a noun and not a verb? If God demanded you to do a certain specific way of life, you would have no free will, and you couldn't be the creative being that you are. Ernest said, every demonstration is made at the exact level of the expectancy. That's faith. That is a divine power that you use to harness love. The expectancy embodied in your thought. Since no one can step out of or away from themselves, it would be impossible for anyone to escape the logic of their own thought. There's really no escaping it, is there? It's you. 48 thoughts per minute. 48,000 a day. You're the creator. So open your heart, as Jesus said. Let your heart draw to you your treasure, right? Bring this beautiful love that you are into the world. Know that you are the harmonizing and attracting power of God. And it's amazing to me to think of the ways that I have in my life miscreated, that I've drawn things to my experience that haven't been so pleasant, right? But we get to right ourselves back and come into alignment and release and let go as God does. It's complete principle. It's freeing. It is uplifting. We have also the power of grace. Love exists for us as grace. It's a buffer, and it helps to keep us from making constant errors, right? Because if every thought was instantaneously manifested, can you imagine? Can you imagine? 48 thoughts per minute? Spend a little time thinking of that. I think I'll finish with a couple of quotes from Bill and Cher Holton, who wrote, along with Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, who the he's a wonderful teacher of metaphysics. And they wrote a book called Power Up Your Life. And I'd like to leave this last little piece with you to think about. We want to be vigilant about what we are desiring, wanting, needing, or requiring in the moment, because love is activated. And it will harmonize and unify to match whatever we are desiring, wanting, needing, or requiring. While it may seem odd, remember, it is our love that powers what we desire in the moment, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So unless we set a clear intention to control our power of love, we may find ourselves harmonizing with inappropriate people, outlandish ideas, or inconsequential things. I know that sounds a little heavy, but I want you to think of love this week as a magnet, a powerful magnet that will draw unto you what you're placing your attention upon, so we can make the shift back and create what you really want. Love, peace, harmony, beauty. You can do it. We can all do it. Amen. See you next week.
Thank you so much, Maryann. How freeing. How freeing. Thanks for giving us that window to understand our magnetism and how it is our thinking works, and for making us conscious that we're always doing it. Well, with that, I invite you to participate as a real magnetic person that you are in our prosperity blessing. We are about to give and receive at this moment. We call it our prosperity practice, and we know that whatever we share with a loving heart blesses us as much as it blesses that which receives it. So I encourage you to accept the richness of your blessing as you hold your offering in your hand, and repeat with me our prosperity blessing. Divine life through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And just a little aside on this giving business, I happen to be the treasurer of this organization right now. It's not something I am always, but right now I happen to be this year. And don't need applause for that. It's a fun job. And just in case you have yearning or wanting to know, I remember when I was sitting in your seat, not so much here, I didn't quite know. I'd go to the annual meeting and I'd want to say, I wonder how much it costs to kind of do that, and wonder what that runs. And I wondered, if you want to know, I have all that information right here. So, as we live in the give and the take and the flow of love and the flow of our own abundance and our magnitude, here we are. I thank you and encourage you to continue to be in the flow. So, we now have another song, Blessing to the World. Yeah?
You are the heart, you are the hand, you are the hope of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world.
It's now time for our announcements. So, I'm hoping that they'll come up on the screen. Good deal, because we have a number of events, and among them, upcoming this Saturday, October 21st, from 1 to 3 o'clock, we have the Sacred Sounds of Healing Meditation with Lisa Vivio. It's a lovely service. It's an experiential time and a very healing time. And please avail yourself if you're available at that time. We also have, coming up on the Sunday, after service, we have the Introduction to Unity, and which is also a kind of something you can make yourself available for. It's for newcomers. It's sort of designed to give you an insight into what Unity is all about. And so if you haven't ever delved into that, never having taken classes, or if it's been a while since you have, come back and participate. It occurs right after the service on the final Sunday of the month. This month, Maryann is giving the talk, but there are handouts and there are chance for discussion and questions. So please attend right after church on the October 29th. More announcements coming? No, that's it. Okay. So if you'll stand, we're about to sing our peace song, and Dan's going to give us a good chord and get us started. Thank you.
Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Now there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Now
The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds me. I am love. The power of God protects me. I am power. The presence of God watches over me. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Take this inspiration with you. Affect change in your world, positive change. Draw some on you in your own personal verbal magnet. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you.